Hey friends, Todd Lane from the Executive Leadership Institute, and I want to talk to you today about a concept that is pretty basic and fundamental in Scripture, but for some reason people have a hard time applying it in their leadership, and it is the golden rule. Jesus said, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." Said another way, treat others the way you would want to be treated. I think the world's problems, certainly relational problems with friends or spouses, could be handled if we apply this concept in our lives, and absolutely leadership issues can be solved if we led with this concept. Now, something happens from the time a person goes from overseeing a task or responsibility to now leading people or leading teams, and sometimes people think, well, because now I have positional authority, that sort of the relational dynamic that is required to lead people goes out the window. You may have the thought of, well, hey, that person's being paid to do what they do. Why do I have to treat them in a different way? But I think if we want to lead the way Jesus wants us to lead, we would apply this principle. So I want to give you 5 quick thoughts on how to lead the way you would want to be led. Okay, so how do we lead the way Jesus would lead? We apply the golden rule. Treat others the way you would want to be treated. So I've taken the word treat. We're going to use those 5 letters to apply these 5 principles. The first one is truth. If I'm going to lead people, then I have to lead by telling them the truth. Now, that comes from if I'm addressing competency issues, character issues, or any other issue in their life, I've got to lead with truth. Oftentimes what leaders do is they want to really kind of skirt around the real issue, and so they talk and talk and talk and talk, and oftentimes really neglect getting to the real point. It leaves an employee confused, not really understand what's being said. Or another thing that's done, and it's a concept that I understand and agree with to a certain degree, but when you're applying it to addressing an issue, it's a tough one. It's the sandwich principle. Hey, say something good, then address what you're wanting to say and follow it up again with something good. You sandwich the hard thing in between 2 good things. That's fine as long as you're giving the proper attention to really what's in the middle. And that is spending time to really address the truth. Now, you can do it, and you should do it with kindness. Kind truth is what we're trying to apply here. A leader who is kind but really doesn't address the truth is doing no good to the employee. A person who tells the truth but they're not kind, again, is doing the employee no good. We need truth with kindness. All right, the second idea is one of respect. I can think of many ways in which to respect a person. You can listen to what they have to say and value their contribution to the team. You can give them extra duties or tasks that really show that you appreciate what they do. Your tone of voice, tells them that you respect them. The way in which you approach a room and give attention to people shows respect. And so, respect is a broad and sort of big term, but when you really think about and apply it to yourself, I think again, if we can stop for a moment and go, how do I receive respect? How do I know when I feel I've been respected? Or maybe it helps you think about it a different way. How do I know when I've been disrespected? Then I don't want to do that to someone else. So when I apply it to what I think about would be meaningful to me and what shows respect, the things that I value, I value being listened to. I value being invited into a conversation. I value tone of voice. I value not being motivated or led by, I don't know, the kind of coach that was a Bobby Knight kind of coach from a basketball, throwing chairs around, getting up in people's faces. That never motivated me. So a leader for me, it would never work for that to be the way they would treat me. Therefore, I would never treat someone that way because that doesn't show respect. So understanding from your standpoint what is respectful is key to leading people the way you would want to be led. All right, the third concept is empower. Empower. When you are leading people, no one wants to feel like someone's looking over their shoulder all the time. You want to be given a responsibility and then given the empowerment to run with it. Now, at different levels of leadership and the responsibilities of the people that you lead, that requires a different level of empowerment. Sometimes it's very necessary to be involved and active in what they're doing. In leading groups of people or teams, you're doing more to empower. No matter what the situation or level of leadership, I know all of us, when we're given something to do, we want to be able to do it. We want to be able to do it with the way in which God has wired us to lead and accomplish things and use our creativity and everything that God has given us. So why wouldn't we lead people in the same way? So empowerment is key if you're going to actually treat people the way you want to be treated. Okay, the fourth concept is appreciate. Said another way, and quite simply, say thank you. Now, I know many employers or bosses have this idea, hey, a person's way of being thanked is they're getting paid. And that concept is a very transactional concept. Hey, you're being paid, here's the job you're being asked to do, here's money. I get it, I understand it. I think a biblical application of the kind of leader Jesus would want us to be has a little bit more relational acumen that we would apply here. And so how do we simply say to someone, hey, look, thank you for spending the extra time on that project that you did, I noticed it. Hey, thank you for the extra level of detail that you put into this. I noticed you did that. Hey, thank you for the way you talk to that customer. That's going to bring value to our organization. Oftentimes organizations will do a big end of year party and there's a bunch of appreciation and things done then. That's great, but don't miss the micro moments of simply saying thank you. The value that brings to an employee, a person that you oversee, can go a long, long way of treating them the way you'd want to be treated. The fifth and final concept is treasure. Now, I want you to begin to think right now, what is something that you absolutely treasure? Maybe it's a gift that was given by someone you love. Maybe it's something that's been handed down in your family generation after generation, and you absolutely treasure it. I think you know where I'm going. That's what God sees in His creation, in people. They are His treasure. So we as leaders get an opportunity to reflect the heart of God to the people that we lead. How do you treasure? Well, basic things like, do you pay fairly? Do you compensate appropriately? Do you value their talent? Do you require excessive time from them that would pull them away from things that like family and things that are valuable to them? What are ways that you are reflecting to people that you see them, you know them, and you know that they are a true treasure? That's the way you treat others, the way you would want to be treated. I hope these concepts have helped you to see that the biblical application of something so simple and basic as the Golden Rule applies in your leadership. When we take the concepts of truth, respect, empowerment, appreciation, and treating people as the treasure that they are to God, we take something that Jesus said to do and we apply it to our leadership. I hope it helps. Hey, go and lead well. God bless.